Can 10 pages in Variety define the career of a global superstar? Anne Rice first tried to humiliate Tom Cruise, but then declared him a legend. This transformation is the ultimate proof of his aura. Tom Cruise's most iconic roles, ranked by aura. David Aames, Vanilla Sky. Vanilla Sky is a Cameron Crowe film about a magazine magnate who loses everything in a car crash, ends up disfigured, wearing a mask, and somehow on trial for murder. On paper, this should be a high aura role. Cruise gets to be rich, mysterious, and broken all at once. That combination should work. But the movie is so confusing that nobody ever knows what's happening, including the character himself. A confused man is a hard man to aura farm with. You cannot project power when you're not sure what reality you're living in. Potential was there, execution was not. F tier. If you're new here, subscribe now, because unlike David Aames, you won't regret what happens next. Charlie Babbitt from Rain Man. Rain Man came out in 1988. Cruise plays Charlie Babbitt, a fast-talking car dealer who finds out his father left his entire estate to an autistic savant brother he never knew existed, and then kidnaps him for a cross-country road trip. Dustin Hoffman won the Oscar. Cruise was just there holding the scenes together. And honestly, that is the whole problem. The entire arc of this character is about losing the ego, being repeatedly humbled, and slowly becoming a better person. That is a great movie, and that is a terrible aura. You cannot farm aura while being humbled for the whole runtime. Every scene is designed to strip Charlie down, not build him up. C tier. Joel Goodson from Risky Business. Tom Cruise, home alone while his parents are away. He pours a drink, cranks up Bob Seger's old-time rock and roll, and slides across the living room floor in his socks, a pink shirt, and white briefs. Cruise said he just ad-libbed the whole thing on the day with no rehearsal. That one moment is burned into cinema history forever, and is genuinely one of the most iconic images in the history of Hollywood. But then Joel Goodson spends the rest of the movie nervous, completely out of his depth, and getting pushed around by a pimp named Gilly, while his father's Porsche sinks to the bottom of Belmont Harbor. The dance scene has infinite aura. The rest of the movie does not. You don't make top of the list on one scene alone. C tier. Les Grossman, Tropic Thunder. When Tropic Thunder came out in 2008, most audiences had absolutely no idea Tom Cruise was even in the film. He plays Les Grossman, a completely unhinged Hollywood executive, in a fat suit, a bald cap, and giant prosthetic hands. He walks on screen, and the entire energy of the movie shifts instantly. He dances, he screams, he threatens people, he commits to every single second of it without blinking. He earned so much goodwill back from the public with this performance that it almost single-handedly repaired his reputation after years of rough public headlines. The problem is, he's barely in the film. You cannot be a serious aura farmer with that little screen time. Great performance, wrong amount of it. B tier. John Anderton from Minority Report. The first time Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg worked together, they made a genuine science fiction classic out of it. Cruise plays John Anderton, the head of a futuristic police unit that arrests people for murders they have not committed yet, using 3 psychics called precognitives who can see the future before it happens. Then his own name comes up as a future murderer. Every scene in this film is urgent and sharp, and Cruise moves through it like a man who knows exactly what he's doing at all times. The only problem is that Anderton spends the entire movie running away from something, or it requires you to be the thing people run from, not the one doing the running. B tier. Vincent from Collateral. Gunmetal gray hair, a perfectly fitted wool suit, 5 people to kill before sunrise. Michael Mann made Tom Cruise spend time delivering packages as a FedEx courier in Central Market in Los Angeles just to prepare for this role. He put on the uniform, wore the cap, walked into a crowded public space, and did the job. Nobody recognized him, and that's the whole point of Vincent. He is a hitman who blends in completely, and then kills you before you even realize what happened. He makes Jamie Foxx's cab driver Max drive him around Los Angeles all night while he works through his list with the calm energy of a man running completely boring errands. Quietly terrifying in a way Cruise has never been before or since. He never went back to anything this dark, a one-time masterpiece. A tier. Jerry Maguire from Jerry Maguire. Show me the money. Cuba Gooding Jr. won the Oscar screaming it. But Cruise is the one who had to say it first and mean it. Jerry Maguire is a high-powered sports agent who has a crisis of conscience at 2 in the morning. writes a memo calling out the entire industry, gets fired for it immediately the next day, and is left with exactly one client and a woman who barely trusts him. Cameron Crowe wrote and directed it, and it came out in 1996. Show me the money, you complete me, you had me at hello. 3 lines, 3 moments the entire country knew by heart within a week of the film's releasing. Jerry Maguire's aura is a man in total freefall who somehow lands on his feet every single time and makes it look easy. A tier. Lestat, Interview with the Vampire. This was the first real villain Cruise ever played, and he went completely all the way in. He dropped 12 pounds to look genuinely gaunt on screen. He studied the 18th century French aristocracy and traveled to Versailles to prepare. He plays Lestat as a creature of pure evil, dark humor, and terrifying charm who drinks blood, manipulates everyone around him, and never once looks like he's sorry about any of it. The woman who created the character publicly hated the casting, and then took out an ad to publicly praise it after seeing the finished film. Anne Rice said she believed Tom's Lestat would be remembered the way Oliver's Hamlet is remembered. That is not a compliment you give a performance that does not earn it. S tier. Ethan Hunt, Mission Impossible franchise. Tom Cruise hung off the side of a real Airbus A400M military plane as it took off and did it 8 times to get the shot right. He climbed the outside of the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building on Earth, with nothing but specialized grip gloves. He held his breath underwater for 6 minutes on set. He broke his ankle running across a rooftop on camera, visibly snapped it mid-air, landed, and kept running because the scene needed to be finished. No other actor working in Hollywood today is doing any of this. Ethan Hunt is not a complicated character on paper, but every single film, Cruise backs himself into a situation that looks completely unsurvivable, and then gets out of it doing something you genuinely cannot believe a real human being just did. The aura is not in the writing, the aura is in the commitment. S tier. Maverick, Top Gun. Top Gun came out in 1986. 39 years later, you still know the name Maverick. You know the line, you know the song. When Top Gun Maverick came out in 2022, it became the biggest domestic box office hit of the year and the highest grossing film of Cruise's entire career, making over $1.4 billion worldwide. The cocky, fearless fighter pilot who plays by his own rules and always wins. This is not Cruise's most technically impressive performance, and he would say that himself without hesitation. But Maverick is the role that turned Tom Cruise into a myth. Some roles age out, some roles become the actor. Maverick became Tom Cruise. S tier. Whether you love him or hate him, the aura on this one is completely undeniable. If you made it till here, then sure you hit the subscribe button and like the video. Maverick would want you to. Peace.